and welcome to Briarwood Stories. Today we are going to create a character together. I'm going to show you how I create my own characters and hopefully it helps you. So the first thing that we are going to do is we're gonna grab something to write or type on. Usually I like typing on my laptop just because it's easier to organize, but you can also grab a notebook. For today I'm actually gonna use a glass board that I actually got not long ago. So the first thing that you are going to pick is it an original character or is it a character from a fandom? After that, you can either pick their name or leave it for the end. It just really depends on how you work, but I usually pick my characters' names first, and I like using a fantasy name generator. It has millions of ideas and it saves my life every time. Next, you're going to pick what kind of character they are. For example, are they human? Are they a specific type of feature? It really depends on whether you're doing an original character or a fandom character. When I create my own characters, I like picking things that I find interesting or things that I like, and then I base my character around that. For example, when you create a character, what if you create them based on your favorite flower or your favorite color, just things like that. For today, I'm going to make an original character that has a pumpkin head. It's October, it's spooky season, so it seems fitting. I don't know what I'm going to name my character yet, so I'm just gonna call her Pumpkin and I'm gonna write it on top. If you have a name for your character, you can put it first. If not, you can just write down what type of character they are. Next, you are either going to do visuals or backstory. I'm gonna start with visuals. When it comes to visuals, I like using websites like Pinterest simply because there's so much visual inspiration on there. Just something to remember is don't just take people's art. You can be inspired by it, but don't take credit for it. Now we're getting into what the character looks like. Let's start with the bare basics. What type of body do they have? What kind of hair do they have? Do they have hair? Just that sort of thing. You can also look into their skin tone, if they have any scars, that sort of thing. Also, you should think about what kind of clothes do they wear. Do they wear any clothes? Do they like dressing fancy, casual, that sort of thing? Another thing to consider is your character's color palette. Do they have a preference towards certain colors? Are they a specific color? What colors they enjoy wearing? That sort of thing. Also, make sure you're writing those things down. Okay, now we can move on to physicality. How does your character move? I think physicality is one of the most important things to know about your character because it gives you a lot of insight into who they are. So, how does your character move? Are they quick? Are they slow? Do they walk hunched over? Are they walking straight? Just how do they move? Also, I want to mention that physicality is also really important in acting because I'm an actor and writer. So for me, physicality is something that I need to know about my character. And now we have their backstory and personality. So backstory and personality usually go hand in hand because typically backstory influences the character's personality. Let's start with backstory. So if your character is original, there's all kinds of things that you can use for their backstory. If it's a character from a fandom, there's some limitations because you need to make sure that the character fits in the world. So, backstory. Does your character have parents? How many parents did they have? What is their relationship with them? Where did your character grow up? What are some of their favorite things? Also, did your character undergo any traumatic events? Are there any events that they will remember for the rest of their life? Remember, your character's backstory is what makes them who they are, so you really have to develop it. Also remember that your character's relationships with others matter as well as their relationship with themselves. Now let's go into your character's personality. So there are several things that you can use. One of them is you can look up online personality tests and personality types and you can base your character around that. Something very important is to give your character both positive traits and negative traits. You need balance. When you create your character's personality, take into account what their backstory is because it has an influence. For example, if your character grew up alone, they can be very self-reliant, which can be a positive trait, but they can be really emotional because nobody taught them how to regulate their emotions. That is a negative trait. Also, there are no perfect things in the world, so your character shouldn't be either. Your character needs to have flaws. Oh, and when you create characters, you can always go back and change things. It's not like a one and done deal. Something that I would say is beneficial to both writing and acting is people watching. If you go out anywhere, there's always people and you can always observe them. Obviously, don't be creepy, don't do anything, just sit and observe them. There's all kinds of personalities out there, and it's really important that you as a creative know how to look out for them. Once again, don't be creepy, just be a silent observer. Also, they say that writers should leave a little piece of themselves in their characters and story, and you should totally do that. You can always take just a small piece of who you are, your experiences, and just put it in the story. It's not like people are going to know what part of yourself you left in the story. And this is pretty much it. This was a quick guide how to create your own characters, and here I've written most of my stuff down. Obviously you're going to develop it further, but this should get you started. I truly hope that this was helpful and fun for you. Thank you for creating with me, and stay tuned for more Briarwood stories.